Hey, everybody. How's it going? How's everybody doing tonight? I'm very excited to be with you. I'm going to be reading some scary stories live, and I'm going to be talking to you in the comments. I'm going to jump in there now. I'm going to say hello to some people. Malachi, how you doing? Natasha, what's going on? Peter, Forrest, Donna Lee. It's wonderful to see you tonight. Please put my mind at ease and let me know if you can hear me clearly in the comments. Please just say yes, the audio sounds good or something like that, because I'm always paranoid about that. And also, can you hear the rain in the video here? Can you hear it slightly? You should be able to hear it ever so slightly. Good? All right. Wonderful. Excellent. Perfect. I'm always tempted to say that thing that you always that you always see. It's making fun of live streamers. I'm gonna give people a few more. I'm gonna give a chance. I'm gonna give people a chance to get in here before I begin. But that is how it is. I am gonna give people a chance to get in here before I begin. D, what's going on? Kenny Long, how are you? Amber, Casper 330. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. I live in Northern California, and it's actually not that hot tonight, which is great. And it's a nice change because the last week has been almost intolerable. I never know what to believe because I always read the comments and people are like, "You sound good, you sound great," and then some people are like, "I can't hear anything." So that I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's my fault or, you know, people need to turn their volume up. Like I don't know. So I am currently drinking something that I have not had in a long time, and that is an Arnold Palmer. I said it right. Usually I mess it up when I try to say it. Arnold Palmer, which is tea, iced tea mixed with lemonade, and it is incredibly good. Like way better than I remember. I can say with certainty that it's way better than just tea and it's way better than just lemonade. It is the perfect combination. I guess that's the reason why it became a thing, right? Nick Zano, how are you? Thank you for being here. Did you see Weapons yet? It was great. Yes. Not only did I see Weapons, but I'm going to go see it again pretty soon because of how good it was. It was one of the best horror films that I've seen in a very long time. It was incredibly good. So, people in the chat, if you have not gone to see Weapons yet, go see that movie. If you like scary movies, go see that movie. It's so good. So, in just a minute, I'm going to start reading some scary stories. And I just want to say, I'm very, very happy that you're all here with me tonight. I apologize if I don't get to every single comment. It's just not really possible. But super chats are always very, very appreciated. And if you do a super chat, I promise you I will read your comment or answer your question. Alrighty. Leona, thank you for being here. Stormy here in Northeast Colorado. Glad to be here. Stormy. Interesting. The weather doesn't make sense anymore, does it? Just it doesn't make sense anywhere anymore. I feel like. Do you, I feel like you never hear from anybody, and they're like, "The weather makes perfect sense where I live, all the time." It's just not the case anywhere anymore. Forest, throw a little raspberry flavor in there sometime. You know? That doesn't sound bad at all. I'm definitely down for that. All right, everybody. Let's get into some stories. Yes? Some scary stories live? Let's do this. Oh, I almost started reading scary stories without having my audio software running or recording or anything. That would suck. This one's not too long. Should only take me 5 or 6 minutes ish, somewhere around there, I think, to get through this first story. And then I'll jump back in the chat and I'll say hello and answer any questions that any of you guys have. And yeah. All right. And now, let's begin. There was always something off about my cousin's house. Painted a bright, cheery yellow. It almost felt like it was trying too hard to look inviting. But no matter how sunny the outside appeared, a darkness seeped from within, and I could feel it. I've always been sensitive to the other side, and even as a child, I knew something wasn't right. I didn't yet understand what I was feeling, but I sensed it deep in my bones. My cousin, let's call her Sam, lived a town over, and her mother, my aunt, babysat me often. Over time, the strange energy in their house grew stronger. The paranormal wasn't just present, it was becoming bolder. At first, it was small things. Shadows darting at the edge of my vision, objects subtly shifting when no one was around. I told myself it was nothing. I believed or wanted to believe that if I ignored it, it would just go away. But it didn't. And even if I pretended not to notice, my body still reacted. The fear was physical, a crawling sensation under my skin, a constant chill in the air. I knew somehow that whatever was in that house knew. I was afraid. The worst part of it all was when I had to sleep over. Sam's room was small and square. The closet was directly to the right when you walked in. Her bed was elevated, with a desk tucked underneath it, against the back wall. I had to sleep on the floor, parallel to that closet. It made me nervous, so I always asked Sam to put her round, metal folding chair in front of the closet before we turned off the lights. It made me feel safer, though I never really understood why. Sam was high up on her bed, out of sight, and she never slept with a nightlight. Her room was completely dark, the kind of dark where your eyes never quite adjust. I always begged my aunt for a flashlight, and I'd keep it hidden under me, and I would keep it hidden under my sleeping bag just in case. One night stands out above the rest. The memory of it still haunts me to this day. That night, I had made sure the chair was in front of the closet. I checked twice, and then the lights went out. I was lying on my side, facing away from the closet, trying to will myself to sleep. And that's when I heard it. A long, metallic scrape across the floor. Then a soft but heavy thump. Every muscle in my body locked up. Goosebumps erupted along my arms and neck. I barely breathed. Then came the slow, deliberate click of the closet door unlatching. I couldn't move. I didn't dare turn over. The air around me felt suddenly colder, sharp, and unnatural. I don't know how long I lay there frozen. Minutes, hours. It felt like forever. Eventually, when the initial wave of terror began to fade, just enough for me to act, I reached under my blanket and clicked on the flashlight. With my heart pounding, I turned over. The chair was gone. No. Worse. It had been folded up and placed on its side in the far corner of the room. The closet door was slightly open. Sam hadn't moved. I could hear her snoring above me. I wanted to scream, to run, to get out, but I couldn't leave the sleeping bag. The air outside felt biting cold, as if something were waiting. I rolled back over, pulling the blanket tight around me, and shut my eyes. That's when I heard it. A voice. A soft whisper, impossibly close to my ear. Go to sleep. I did not sleep that night. I stared into the dark until the first light of dawn crept into the room. As soon as I could, I asked my aunt to call my mom to pick me up. I felt sick, and I mean genuinely ill, and I never told anyone what had happened. Not until years later. Sam and I had gone out for drinks and crashed at another cousin's place, sleeping on the couch together. Somehow the conversation drifted to her old house. Half laughing, half nervous, I said, I always thought your place was haunted. That folding chair used to move by itself. No, I swear. When I slept over, it did. Sam didn't even hesitate. Oh, yeah, she said casually. That house was definitely haunted. The people who lived there before us had a son. He drowned in the swimming pool in the backyard. I froze. I had never heard anything about a death on that property. Not once. But in that moment, everything clicked. The heaviness, the fear, the voice. It wasn't just my imagination. I had felt something real. But even as Sam spoke, a part of me recoiled at the idea that it was simply the spirit of a drowned boy. That didn't explain the malice that I felt, the cold, deliberate movement of the chair, or the whisper that felt more like a command than comfort. No. What haunted that house wasn't innocent or confused. I have come to believe that the boy's death wasn't the source of that presence, but rather the trigger. That the pain and the grief left in the wake of his drowning cracked something open, and something else came through. Something darker. Something that fed on sorrow. The presence I felt that night wasn't mourning. It was hungry. For years, I had convinced myself my memory was flawed, that I had exaggerated or misremembered it as a kid. A child's imagination can muddle a memory, right? But after Sam's confirmation, I knew the truth. What happened to me in that room was real. Even now, as I tell this story, that same familiar dread creeps in. I can still hear the scrape of metal on the floor, still feel the icy air against my skin. I still see that cracked closet door in my mind's eye, slightly ajar, waiting. Ooh, that was a good one. I really, really liked that story. How do you guys rate that one? Pretty good, right? Peter Hargraves coming through with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. That's so nice of you. I've been listening off and on to you for 5 years. Your voice is a jolt of nostalgia. Love you're now doing live streams. I'll definitely be around. Thanks again. Or thanks, man. I really, really appreciate that, my friend. I really do. Thank you so much for your support. It was a pretty good story, right? I thought that I picked out some good ones for tonight. I hope I did. I hope you guys agree. All right. Mark Collins, thank you so much for being here. I see you in there. Elk, my number one fan. Thank you so much for being here. Your support, as always, means so much. Thank you. And yes, thank you for the reminder, Elk. But I actually just put out a new regular video a couple hours ago. So when this live stream is done, if you guys want some fresh, brand new stories that you have not heard on my channel before, you can go hit up that video. And also, I'm excited to say that we at Chilling are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. So if you want to get your hands on one of those, because as I understand it, it's kind of difficult at the moment to get one of those. If you want to enter the pool of people that might be able to win that thing, then go on over to www.chillingapp.com, start a free trial, enjoy thousands of scary stories on there that have never been on this channel before. You can adjust the ambient menu as you please. You can switch seamlessly as you're listening to any story between rain, a thunderstorm, a campfire, and so many more options. We have a bunch of movies, short films, podcasts, all kinds of stuff on there. And go check it out. Go start that free trial. Be entered to win that Nintendo Switch 2 and support the platform that I created. If you haven't already given it a shot, I think you'll like it. So I really like to ask questions to everybody in the chat and then see everybody's answer at the same time. So everybody tell me how old you are, please. I would like to know how old everybody is. Just to get an idea, you know? Just to get an idea of what kind of crowd is hanging out here tonight. I myself am 39. And very curious to see. We've got 53 people in here. That's pretty cool. I think. I actually don't know. I'm not really sure. Okay, so Forrest, 29. Donnelly is 31. Malachi is 16. Trix is 20. Brianna is 26. The Walking Bob is 26. Peter is 38. Avari's 45. Kalina is 54. Miss Chris, 42. Okay. So we've got a nice variety. That's pretty cool. Very, very cool. Natasha, 37. Angus, 32. Soul Slayer, 19. Maggie May, 60. Elk J is 28. Kimberly's 43. The Walking Bob, 53. So we've got a huge variety of ages in here. That is really, really cool. That lets me know that it really doesn't matter how old you are. Scary stories are awesome, right? I first started listening to scary stories, and well, actually, listening to scary stories was with Mr. Nightmare, and that was in 2016, and that's how I actually started doing this, is because of his channel. But reading scary stories, I started doing that at a very young age, probably like 6 or 7 years old. I would sit in my bedroom. My mom would buy me scary story books, and I would sit in there and read those books, and with Legos and toys surrounding me, and I'm just laying in a pile of toys, reading scary stories, freaking myself out, and probably led to years of worry and paranoia that I can't get rid of now. Always on alert, every possible negative or bad thing that could happen. I'm always thinking about that, unfortunately, but I've never broken a bone, so that's good, right? Which of you have broken a bone? Tell me what bone you broke. I sprained my ankle a few times, pretty bad. Never broken a bone. Princess Brand says, "Can you drop the link for the Nintendo?" So if you want to check that out, you go to my latest video. I actually just released it a couple hours ago, and it's in the description and the pinned comment. You can with all the information that you need is in that description of that video. Ooh, femur, ankle, yikes. Not bueno. No broken bones to Kalina. That's very good. Same. Samesies. Bobby King is here, everybody. Bobby King is here. The party has begun. Elk, you broke both feet? Like at the same time? I would be very interested to hear that story. That's terrible. So for those of you that are sitting in the chat waiting for me to shut up and read more stories, I will. Don't worry. I've got some more coming, I promise. Left ankle, left pinky toe, and right index finger. Man. Um, the Walking Bob says, "Tell us a 2-sentence horror story." I actually do have some of those. I can do that real quick, just off the record, no recording. Just some fun 2-sentence horror stories. All right, you guys ready for some of these? Some of these I'm pretty sure I've heard before. Some of them actually I have not. All right, some 2-sentence horror stories. I'm going to read them with maximum intensity. I tucked my son into bed and kissed his forehead goodnight. Then I heard him call my name from the kitchen. My phone buzzed with a text from my wife. Don't go into the living room. She was sitting beside me when I read it. The funeral was over, but I could still hear my mother's voice in the house. She kept whispering from behind the basement door. I woke up to the sound of my own laughter. Something in the dark was laughing with me. My daughter begged me to check under her bed. I looked and saw her trembling, whispering, "There's somebody on my bed." Some of those are pretty classic, I feel like. I'm pretty sure that I've heard a lot of those before. Maybe not in the 2-sentence horror story format, but you know what I mean? Like, especially the little girl under the bed. I'm pretty sure I've seen that in like a short film or all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Elk, I broke my left foot twice, and then after 2 years, I broke the right one. Okay, well, at least you didn't do them at the same time, you know, because the earlier message that you wrote kind of made me feel like that was what happened. But that's good. I mean, it's not good that you broke both of your feet, but you know what I mean. At least you didn't break them at the same time. That's good. Alrighty. Who's ready for the next official story that I'm going to record and that you can look forward to debuting on my channel in 5 or 6 days? Yes? Are we ready? Are we ready for the second story? This one's much shorter, I think. Yeah, this one's shorter. What do you guys think? Story or chat? Go ahead and vote. Type in chat if you want me to keep talking to you, and type story if you want me to stop and read a story. And we'll go with what majority wants. Story. Kimberly Perez, thank you so much for the super chat donation. Showing your extreme support to the channel. That means the world. Hype. Thank you. Really, really means a lot, that support. Story. Okay, so, Malachi is the only one that wants me to keep talking. All right, so how about I just kick everybody out of here except for Malachi, and you and I will just chill, all right? Since you guys don't want to talk to me and you want me to just narrate, like that's all I'm good for. No, I'm just kidding. That is why we're all here, isn't it? Scary stories. All right, so let's get on with it. Let's do it. I don't usually post these sort of things, but after hearing a story so similar to mine, I felt like I should share it. I've been a listener for a long time, and I couldn't believe it when I heard someone talk about something mimicking another person in a restaurant. I have seen this too. I couldn't believe somebody else had something similar happen. The building I currently work in is not old, maybe only about 50 years, but it's an older part of town. It's a nice little spot, but it does have some odd energy, if you know what I mean. I haven't heard anything that would suggest it's haunted, except for what I experienced. Every now and then you'll hear the occasional strange feeling story, but it's never taken seriously. More like entertainment than anything else. It's the typical stuff. Someone felt a cold spot, saw a shadow, or got bad vibes in the basement. I occasionally feel uncomfortable downstairs, and sometimes feel like I'm being watched. But what I experienced next was different. It was just plain strange. The owners of the restaurant host tour bus trips to local sporting events. When that happens, some of the regulars go, and if you're lucky enough to get the night off, you can go too. On one of these nights, I was working in the back with a coworker. It was slow, just after the dinner rush, around 8:30 p.m. Usually, the bus gets back around 10, and we feed whomever's hungry from the game before closing up. One of our friends from work, Sam, had gone to the game that night. We expected her to come in fired up, ready to place a group order from the bus. Ready to place a group order for the bus. While we waited, we started deep cleaning the kitchen. About a half an hour in, I was cleaning out the Pepsi fridge, and my friend was in the dish pit when we both heard Sam's unmistakable voice coming from the dining room. We looked up and saw her poke her head into the kitchen and then leave quickly. We didn't even have time to say anything. I said, "Well, I guess they're back." "Yep, I'll go see how many are here," my friend replied. I wrapped up what I was doing, ready to start cooking, but when my friend came back, he looked confused. "They're not back yet," he said. "What? But Sam was just here." "I know, but I asked up front and they said the bus called about 15 minutes ago. They're still an hour away. The snow is slowing them down." I stared at him. "But we both just definitely saw her just now." "Dude, I know. Not only that, we heard her voice in the doorway." Sure enough, they didn't get back for another hour and a half. Sam was with them, on the bus the whole time. We have no explanation for what we saw and heard, but we both swear we saw our friend come into the kitchen from the dining room, despite her being miles away. Everyone else laughs at us, but we were genuinely shaken. My friend was convinced it was some kind of a shape-shifting spirit. I don't know what to think. I'm not superstitious, but after hearing a similar story recently, I started to wonder if it was something else. Maybe it was more like a residual haunting. Maybe Sam was thinking about the restaurant on her way back, and because we were expecting her, it caused us to, I don't know, see her, like some strange shared hallucination. I'm not the type to jump straight to the supernatural, but I can't explain this. Maybe it was some sort of a time slip. Even saying that out loud sounds ridiculous and crazy. But I honestly don't know what else it could have been. That was a good one, too. I like it. I have to say that I'm a fan of stories that are just kind of simple and short, and, you know, they've got a strong creepiness factor with just something simple like that. It's my bread and butter. I really like that kind of stuff. Always have. I've done many live streams over the years. Not too many recently, until very recently, but I've always told people my favorite scary story that I ever heard was one that I've narrated on this channel many times. And it was the story about the old woman that hides in that guy's house, and then he wakes up in the middle of the night and she's like standing in his room. Super creepy story. I love that story. However, I think my favorite scary story of all time, not including stories that I've narrated, comes from, I think it was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark Part 2, the second book. And I think the story was called The Voice. And it's just so simple. But when I was a kid, it scared the hell out of me. It was so scary. I'm wondering if anybody in the chat knows what story I'm talking about. It was called The Voice. So the way it goes is there's a little girl that's in bed, and she's laying there. Her bedroom door is open, and she hears a voice from downstairs call her name. And she doesn't say anything. She doesn't do anything. She's too scared. And the voice says, "I'm coming up the stairs. I'm on the first step. I'm on the second step. Now I'm at the top of the stairs. Now I'm in the hallway. Now I'm standing outside your bedroom door. Now I'm in your bedroom. Now I'm standing next to your bed." Like, oh my God. It's so scary. When you're 10 years old and you're reading that book, oh my gosh, especially if it's nighttime, man, such a scary story. And then the last thing it says, I'm pretty sure I've narrated this one on a live stream before. And, you know, there's like a jump scare at the end of the story where the last thing the voice says is, you know, I'm standing right next to your bed. And then, "I've got you." And you're supposed to like raise your voice at that part, and it's like scary as hell. And then the little girl screams, and her parents like rush into the room, and they're like, what's going on? And she's like, "There's somebody in here." And then they like search the whole house, and there's nobody there. Really simple story. I think it's like one page. It's just so short, but so scary. Yeah. Really, really good one. Tootsie, you have been noticed. Natasha, you have them all on your phone. Nice, nice. You know, funny story. When I created Chilling, which, by the way, if you don't have Chilling, you need to go get that right now because it's got so many awesome things on it. But when I created Chilling a few years ago, I actually reached out to the publication company for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and sadly, I was not able to get the rights to have those books narrated on the platform. And that tore me apart because those books are the reason why I'm talking to you right now. They are that impactful to my life and everything, and my entire channel exists because they are the books that began my love for scary stories, you know. But I'm not going to give up. I will never give up, and someday I will have Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark on Chilling. And it's going to be a glorious day. Kimberly, one of the first stories that I heard from you was one where it was the little girl's party and her friend was getting torn apart and eaten when you were partly asleep. What? I don't remember that story at all. And, you know, keep in mind that I literally, at this point, I've narrated thousands of stories. I've been doing this for almost 9 years. And literally thousands of stories at this point. So it's hard to remember all of them, but damn, that one sounds nuts. And yeah, I can't remember that story at all. And honestly, I try to stay away from anything super graphic involving kids or just anything super graphic in general, and profanity and things like that, because none of that stuff, in my opinion, makes stories scarier. So, but that one sounds crazy, man. I don't know. I don't recall doing that one. Samuel Padilla says, "Hey man, just wanted to say I love your videos. I can't sleep unless I'm listening to you. By the way, what type of music do you listen to?" Well, I appreciate the compliment. That really means a lot, and I appreciate your support very much, and that you're here right now. And what type of music? So I go back and forth. Right now, I'm really, really into '90s. I I really, really like '90s music. It's nostalgic. It brings me back, and it just makes me feel good. I really, really like '90s alternative rock, R&B, and then today's music, like probably just country. I really like country music, and I'm not talking about like old '90s like country where that stuff is. I mean, there's a couple good ones that I like, but that stuff is just really dated, and I don't really like the sound of it too much these days. I respect it, of course. I respect all music, but new country is what I really, really like these days. I really like the stuff that they sing about. Um, ba, 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 ba. Peter Hargraves says, "My favorite secret story," I'm going to assume that you meant scary story, "was a Mr. Nightmare story where a kid camping woke to find a walkie-talkie in his tent and someone starts talking to him." Yeah, that sounds pretty damn creepy. I'm not sure if I've heard that one. It actually does kind of sound familiar, though, to be honest. I wonder if I've narrated that one, too. Maybe I heard it on his channel. I'm not sure. The funny thing, really funny thing about Mr. Nightmare is that I listened to him. I mean, you can ask my wife. I annoyed the hell out of her by listening to him so often, especially when we were going to sleep. Back in the day, and I'm talking like 2014, 2015, or, whenever he started his channel. I can't remember when, but I listened to him a lot before I started my channel. And then after I started my channel, I also used to listen to B-Busta and Dr. Horror. And after I created my channel, I stopped listening to all those people, and I don't know why. For some reason, like, narrating my own stories on my own channel made me lose interest in listening to scary stories anymore. As sad and depressing as that sounds, that is the truth. I don't know why. Really strange. Ghostly Clam says, "Just got done listening to one of the podcasts you did and saw that you were live, so I had to swing by and say hi and tell you to keep up the good work." Well, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Elk, I started listening to you in 2016 and wrote my comments in 2017. Awesome videos. Wow. It's been a long time. Long time. Next month, I think on September 7th, less than a month from now, I think is my 9-year YouTube anniversary. 9 years I've been doing this. That's so crazy. Where has the time gone? I was actually I was a manager at Domino's Pizza when I created my YouTube channel. I remember the day that I did it. I literally do. I literally remember the day that I created my channel. So I was listening to Mr. Nightmare all the time, and I got ready for my shift. I put on my Domino's, uniform or whatever it was, and I still had a little bit of time to kill. So I went into one of the bedrooms in my house. I think it was my son's bedroom before it actually became his bedroom. It was just like a office. I think that's what it was. And I was sitting in there listening to Mr. Nightmare, and he had just hit 1 million subscribers. And he put out a video of him playing a video game, and he was just talking. He wasn't narrating stories. He was just talking. And he said, I really wish that I could talk to that guy and just ask him what made him say this. But in that video, he said, if you think it would be fun to do this, then just do it. Stop thinking about it and just do it. And if he had not said that, I don't know if my channel would exist. And everything else that I've done, it's so crazy to me that him saying that one thing made me, you know, I'm pretty sure that I had to go to work, and I listened to him say that, and I turned off the video because I had to go to work, and I started my shift, and I can't remember what I was thinking on that shift, but I must have been thinking about what he said, you know, making pizzas, spreading the dough, spreading the sauce, putting cheese, trying to do it fast, trying to get the orders out, and thinking about my channel and what am I going to call it, you know, and I did. I'm pretty sure I did it either that same day when I got home or the next day I created my channel. Pretty cool. I really do wish that I could talk to Mr. Nightmare. So if any of you happen to be best friends with that guy, please let him know that I would love to talk to him. He is responsible for my channel. He is the king of scary stories. I would love that opportunity. I would really love the opportunity to have him on my channel. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it be crazy if you were listening to one of my stories one day, or I'm sorry, one of my videos, and at the beginning I said, special guest, Mr. Nightmare? Believe me, I've tried to make it happen. I have. Forrest, the universe speaks to us through others, so I'm glad you listened. Yep, me too. Me too, man. Tootsie, I loved the one where you told the story of Evil Kid. That was my favorite story so far. I love it so much, I watch it all over again and again. I really wish I could remember which story you're talking about. Like I said, I narrate so many all the time. Or over the years, I've just narrated so many. It's hard to remember. I remember a select few, the ones that really, really stick out. The old woman one, definitely, that's the number one that always stuck with me. And actually, the first time I ever heard that story was on Mr. Nightmare's channel. It was like one of the first videos that he ever made. I think he took it down. I'm not sure why, but I don't think that video is on his channel anymore. Unless he put it back. But that's the first time I heard that story. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about? The old woman that hides in the house after the guy looks for her like all day. And then he wakes up in the middle of the night and she's like standing in his doorway. Super creepy. Great story. Great story. I'm just jumping in the chat here, reading what you guys are writing. Scott, hello from Scotland. Oh my gosh. Hello. I really want to go to Scotland. It's on my bucket list. I really want to go there. I want to see the statue of William Wallace. Really, really bad. I want to go to Stirling. I want to see all those gorgeous landscapes, and I want to take my wife on a walk down a cobblestone street and just hold hands. You know, that kind of stuff. I'm 39. That's the kind of stuff that I want these days. I would say, usually, like 10 years ago, I probably would have said, I want to go into a pub and get drunk and just get completely drunk. But these days, really, I just want to go for a walk with my wife down a cobblestone street and look at the fog rolling over this Scottish hillside and see some cows, you know, some Highland cows, maybe. I'm not sure what kind of, I'm assuming there's Highland cows there, right? I walk up to a fence and start talking to the cows. Talking to the cows would be really, really nice. Peter says, growing up, did people say you had a great speaking voice? No. Actually, one person did. Yes. One person in my entire life before I started narrating stories did tell me that. and it was my English teacher in 10th grade. And we were reading, I want to say it was Romeo and Juliet. I think we were reading in class. And you know how the teacher kind of will point at somebody in the class and then they'll have to like read out loud like a paragraph or something? Well, she did that to me when we were reading Romeo and Juliet. And the way I read it, I don't remember what it was, or how I read it, but she said, you could be a Shakespearean actor. You are really good at reading stories. And I was like, oh, thank you. I wish that I could give her some credit and say that that's the reason I'm doing this, but it's not. It was Mr. Nightmare. But I do remember that compliment. It was just kind of out of the blue and something I had never heard before, but that's probably why I remember she said that. Nicole, thank you for being here. I love your videos. I listen to them while working. Nice. Very cool. Elk, thank you so much for the compliment. Your voice is perfect for creepy stories. I really appreciate that. Danielle, thank you for being here. Thank you for the nice, kind words. So I'm going to be honest with you all. I'm very, very tired. I've had a very long day. I got a lot of stuff done today, and I committed to doing this live stream, and that's why I'm here right now. But the truth is, I'm very tired. And so I'm going to cut this one short tonight in about 9 minutes. I'm just going to call it quits. It's going to be an hour-long live stream. I know that's not very long, and I apologize. But I'm going to schedule another one for next Thursday, a week from now. And I promise that one will be at least 90 minutes, probably around 2 hours. But I just wanted to be upfront and let you guys know that I'm just done. I'm just really tired. And I got to get some rest. Bobby, did you ever try that movie link that I emailed you? Actually, I think I did, yeah. But it brought me to a kind of a shady looking place, and I'm not... I looked up the legitimacy of that website, and it said that it was kind of like iffy, like, I don't know. So I kind of just decided to play it safe and not click the video and watch it. I don't know. Illegitimate websites and shady looking websites kind of freak me out. I don't really know what's going on, you know. So I just decided to just play it safe and not follow through with that link. But I did actually look into it, and I really do still want to watch Sling Blade, man. It's been so long, and I love that movie so much, and I haven't seen it in so long. And I was excited to watch it. I just really wish I could watch it from a place that I've heard of, you know, something that I know is not going to destroy my computer or steal all the money in my checking account. You know what I mean? Ba, 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 ba. So just to let everybody know, again, I said this earlier, but I did actually just put out a new video tonight. So when this live stream is done, if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. It's got some brand new stories on there that have never been on this channel before. And turned out to be a really good one. I think you guys are really going to like it. It's got a cool background. Rain on glass with a creepy face in there. So I think you'll like it. And it's dark enough, I think, to where, you know, you wouldn't have to turn your screen off or anything like that. I really wish. Okay, so one more short story. Honestly, I don't really have any more lined up for tonight. I knew that I was only going to do an hour, and I wanted to interact with you guys and just say hello and just kind of hang out and rate a couple stories, but I don't really have any more for tonight. But I can promise you next Thursday you can look forward to like at least 3-4 stories, and it'll be at least 90 minutes, 2 hours long. You know, it's funny because I remember like when I was doing live streams, when I was doing them in like the year 2020 during COVID. Whoops, I hope I hope this video doesn't get like blocked because I said that, but during that, I remember I did one time, a live stream that was like 4 hours long. It was crazy. 4 hours. I don't know how I did that. And it was at night too. I think it started at like 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time and went to like 11 p.m. And it's a lot to sit here and talk for 4 hours, you know? It's a lot easier for you guys. You're just sitting there chatting. It's like an old school chat room, you know? Like in the 90s, the water cooler. Yeah, Peter, don't jinx me, man. Come on now. Yes, and you had your cousin join too, and you two read stories back and forth. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. That was fun. Fun, good times. Can you give some advice for someone who wants to start their own YouTube podcast on whatever? Yeah. Yeah, I can. So, I mean, I don't have any experience doing anything other than scary stories, of course, but my advice would be don't do it if you're looking to make money. And I know that maybe sounds weird, but do it because you want to do it because it sounds fun. Do it as a hobby. Don't do it hoping that it'll ever turn into any type of monetization because it might not. You never know if you're going to be successful or not. But if you have passion in what you're doing, and if you actually have fun doing it, then everything should fall into place if you just never quit. Because you can't fail if you never stop. You know what I mean? Failure is not possible if you keep going no matter what. And if you're having fun the whole time and you're not really too worried about the money that you're making or the likes or the views or any of that crap, you're going to be fine. So if you want to be a YouTuber or, you know, a podcaster, create content that just is fun to make. And if you want to be a podcaster, talk about things that are just fun to talk about. And if the money or anything ever comes from it, then that's great. It's a bonus, right? But you really did it because you just want to do something fun. And I would definitely recommend that you all do that. There's absolutely, these days, there's no reason to not do it. There's got to be things that you would love to talk about with a friend or a family member or even just by yourself. And if it sounds cool to do scary stories or make videos like I do, then do it. You can use software that's free. You can download Audacity. It's free. You can get video editing software. I have Wondershare Filmora. That's the one that I use. That's the one that I've used for 9 years now. And it's very affordable, and it's extremely good video software. And you can get a really decent microphone at Best Buy for $50. You can get a Blue Snowball, which is the microphone that I had for like the first 3 years that I was doing this. And so there, yeah, I mean, all of it is pretty affordable, and it costs nothing to start a YouTube channel, you know? And if you ever do, email me, beingscared86@gmail.com, and let me know, and I'll go check out your channel. And if you want some critique or anything like that, then I'd be happy to give that to you as well. Very fun. I'll never forget what it was like when I first started my channel, when I first started getting my first comments, and people saying, they were like, hey, that was a cool story, you know, this is a cool video. That was unreal. When you start your YouTube channel and you've got, like, you know, your loved ones, your family, your friends subscribing for you to show their support, but then when you actually start gaining subscribers from strangers that you don't know, and they're leaving nice comments and saying nice things, that is the coolest thing ever. I will never forget what that felt like. And I'll be honest, it's, you know, it's been 9 years, and it doesn't affect me these days the way that it did back then. I'm still extremely grateful for all the kindness and everything. But when you're first starting out and you get those very first comments, all of that stuff, it's just, oh man, there's nothing like it. So if, you know, I'm just going to follow in Mr. Nightmare's footsteps right now. If you think that it would be fun to do this, do it and stop thinking about it. All right, everybody. Well, I think I'm going to call it good after about an hour now. It's been about an hour. So I'm going to say goodnight, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a brand new video out if you want to go check that out. And if you want a chance to win a Nintendo Switch 2, go to Chilling and start a free trial. Go check out all the cool content that we've got over there. We've got like 2,000 scary stories there. Yeah. And just be happy and enjoy being scared, because being scared is really fun, isn't it? It's just the best. But I want to say I love you all. I really appreciate you guys coming to the stream tonight. And I will be back next week on Thursday, same time, 7:30. And I promise I will make it longer. We'll have more stories. We'll have some nice drinks. We'll have some snacks set up, and it's all going to be wonderful. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And now, let's begin.